Environment of criticism, rejection, and failure.
Yes.
This is a particular problem for overachievers.
Yes.
Withdraw from some, but not all people.
Okay.
While adults tend to isolate themselves when depressed, teenagers usually keep up at least some friendships. However, teens with depression may socialize less than before, pull away from their parents, or start hanging out with a different crowd.
Now, all right. Let's look at the effects of teen depression. Let's go through those 7. We're just going to read. We're just going to shoot the bullets out. We ain't got to read behind it because all this stuff is basically self-explanatory. We can expound on those. Number 1. No.
Problems at school.
Stop right there. You just talked about that, about concentration. If we're going through a depression period, that's going to affect the child.
That's right.
Especially at school. Because first, if he can't do the work, he's going to be teased, or he's going to be called dummy. He's going to be put in the corner and put a Dutch hat. That's what they used to do when we was going to school back in '60. Put the Dutch hat on, you know. Yeah, make you stay in the corner. So all that stuff that's building up in that young person, we understand now why teens are losing hope, because if they don't have a family structure at home, especially a man, to guide and direct him. You remember we talked about last week? No, we talked about this Tuesday in the office. If we have a bullseye and an arrow, if that young man is not pointed in the right direction, he can go in any direction. So that young man has to be pointed in the right direction for him to go in the right direction. Praise God. All right, Brother Josh, what's the next one?
Running away.
Oh, Lord. Now, I never ran away, but I thought about it. How did it feel, and why did you feel that you had to run away, Josh?
Well, I didn't necessarily run away when I was at home.
Okay.
I would retreat to my hideaway.
Okay.
Which would be deep in the woods.
Okay, but that's still a place of solitude.
But I think I did it mostly to calm myself down.
Yes. Okay.
Because my father, I have a father wound, because my father was not the one to sit down and talk about problems.
Right.
Because my father and I used to get into a lot of arguments because we didn't see. But we didn't see like the problems. We didn't see them. Some of them I didn't see coming. They just came. But with the running away, I used to live in a group home and I used to run away. But I always came back after I calmed down. Because I felt like if I was angry and I was depressed at the same time, that was a deadly combination, because I was liable to snap.
Sure.
But I mean, it gave it escape, but sometimes it made the problem worse than it really needed to be.
Absolutely. How about you, Dwight? You ever felt that about running away? Or you just dealt with it, just did what you had to do?
This is not a form of running away. The environment that I was standing in at that period of time was a gang. Okay. So, of course, I would just remove myself from the house and I just go outside and I just hang with them. And I did have a mentor, but at the same time. And the mentor that I had, it's good that the mentor, he did his job, things like that. But the understanding that I have now is that he would come pick me up, we would go places, do things like that. At the same time, then we drop him back off.
But still be there. That's right.
So my thing is that the mentors, they are good, but I feel like that they just take you away from your problem
temporarily.
Yes. Until you come back, just like if a person is smoking or drinking, just don't focus on their problem. Then how it goes down and the drink will go away. It's back there again. And so running away, I never ran away physically, but mentally and emotionally, I was gone.
Sure, I hear you. Very good.
I gotta say something along the lines of what Dwight just said about when I was a couple years ago, I was depressed, and I did what Brother Dwight did. My mind went blank. Like, you could be talking to me, but I wouldn't hear nothing you were saying because my mind was so far gone. And at that point, there's nothing else you could do. Call people come in.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, go to the next one, Brother Josh.
Drug and alcohol abuse.
That's just self-explanatory. We get to a position, especially young people, and that's where basically the alcoholism starts, especially if it's in the family.
Yes, sir.
And they see when somebody, the mother or the father's going through, something, the man come home from work, he's always drunk, he's beating up on the mother and whatever, then when he gets in a position where he cannot relate to them when it comes to his problems, then he will take on the same attributes as his parents or what he sees was in his environment.
And I got something to say on that too.
Yes.
And then we can move on. But drugs and alcohol, if it runs in the family, you're more prone.
Yes, you are.
To have that addiction.
Yes.
Because it's in you. It's in your genes.
Yes.
So if you start using cocaine, as an example, you're probably going to get hooked on it because it's in your genes. So it's alcoholism.
Well, but if you have positive role models around you to pull you back out of that, so you prevent you from doing that, because see, an idle mind is the devil's playground.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if that's present, and you have nothing there. Just like I told you before, if you have something bad in you, you clean it up and don't replace it with anything. Of course, yeah, you are going to be prone to that. But if somebody's there to help defeat that, what's trying to overtake you, you will rise above that. You will rise above it. All right, brother, go ahead next.
Low self-esteem.
Oh man, that's heavy.
That's kind of self-explanatory
Yes,
too.
it is. It is. It is.
Like I mean, like as a man, we can only take so much bull crap before we get.
Sure.
And especially if young teenagers and young adolescents are bullied, their self-esteem is already at an all-time low.
Absolutely.
Because the bullies put them down.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's in the family. The family's putting you down.
Sure.
And that can lead until you have lower self-esteem.
Sure.
And basically, when you get to the lowest point you get to, you tend to come out with a suicide or a cry for help that somebody needs to answer.
Absolutely. Anything on that, brother? Okay. All right. Good. All right.
Internet addiction.
Oh. We ain't even got to go there, because we know now in the world of mass media, social media, everybody's on there focusing on that problem. We see more suicide attempts in young people now because internet bullying is going on. You see what I'm saying? Called cyberbullying. And it's just as bad as the ones that you go to school with, because now they don't really actually have a face, but they shoot these words so you can't stop it from coming. And if you feel worthless, if you feel that nobody cares about you, nobody loves you, and you have nobody to talk to, yes, teenagers will lose that hope, and then they will do something drastic.
You know what I think about that with the cyberbullying? I think, and this is just my thought, it's not going to happen with one person, but when you go into a school, they should search you for phones, cameras, anything, because you can walk by a person and click, and then put it on the internet and put different stuff.
But see, then you messing up with their rights as humans, and that's a fine line. I understand what you're saying, but it's just a fine line, and it's kind of hard to do that nowadays. But
reckless behavior.
Well, that's self-explanatory as well. Drug addiction, hanging out with the wrong crowd, breaking and entering, stealing, and all this other stuff that's going on. Rebelling against parents. I mean, absolutely, that's all the keys. Problem with authority. That's right. Absolutely. Because if there's no structure there for that young person, that young man to follow, then yes, the behavior is going to become reckless, because he has never witnessed in his home or where he's growing up in his environment, he never seen nothing constructive, because that's all he knows. There it is.
And the last one, violence.
There it is. And we already know about that. Once you get pushed up into a wall,
we come out swinging.
There it is. Plain and simple. All right, let's go down, Brother Dwight. Let's go down to the B part of what are the suicide warning signs in depressed teens?
Okay. Talking or joking about committing suicide.
Okay.
That's a red flag right there.
That's a red flag.
Saying things like, "I'll be better off dead." I wish I could disappear forever.
Oh man.
Or "There's no way out."
There's another red flag.
Yes.
Speaking positively about death, or romanticizing dying.
Yes.
Or if I die, people might not love me no more.
People might love me. Yeah.
Writing stories and poems about death, dying, or suicide. Engaging in reckless behavior, or having a lot of accidents resulting in injury.
Yes. And we talked about this.
Self-inflicted wounds.
Yes. And Brother Josh talked about that last week about him cutting himself. So that's part of that reckless stuff. So what's going on. So
Giving away prized possession.
That's another red flag right there.
Okay.
Saying goodbye to friends and
Yeah.
family as if it was their last time. And seeking out weapons, pills, and other ways to kill themselves in a harmful way.
Now, who basically does that? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the broadcast.
20 to 30 years old.
Okay, not only that, but who? Who mainly?
Man.
Usually females.
Females, yeah.
They use the pills.
Yeah, but see,
They
but
don't-
there are more times less likely to succeed
Yes,
than men.
because
we
why?
actually follow through with it.
Why? Because what we use to kill ourselves.
They attempted more, but we use guns.
There you go.
We use
There you go.
guns,
That's it.
knives, or we hang ourselves.
That's right. So that's basically how I know. Exactly. All right, brother, Dwight. Well, let's go down to encouraging. How do we encourage depressed teens to open up? Because this is something that we need to talk about. We've been talking about this lately anyway.
If you suspect a teenager in your life is suffering from depression, speak up right away. Even if you are sure that depression is the issue, the troublesome behaviors and emotion you are seeing in your teenager are signs of a problem. Excuse me. Whether or not that problem turns out to be depression, it still needs to be addressed.
All
There it
right.
is, right
All
there.
right.
Sooner, the better.
Okay, let's expound on that. What does that mean to you, brother? What you just read? That's very powerful.
Not just, I understand that in a categorical way, people may say they may be looking for this one particular problem.
Yes.
Or this one particular issue that this individual may be applying, but
Yes.
if they don't see that issue, they might, okay, well, he fine. Vice versa that. Pay attention to the other side that he may be giving as well. It might not necessarily be depression.
That's right.
But the other factors and symptoms can lead to something else.
That's
that
right.
can also lead to depression.
That's right. That's right. How about you, brother John? What does that mean to you?
That's a path right there.
It is very much so.
And I say this, if my parents had saw this, like I said earlier, maybe my life would be completely, I wouldn't say completely different, but it would be different.
But you're better off now than you were then.
Right, I'm
And
a
you know,
stronger man.
there you go. There you go. You're right.
And I would say, man, because I know what it is.
All right. That's right. Okay. All right, brother Dwight.
Your teen may be reluctant to open up,
Ah.
or she may be ashamed, afraid of being misunderstood, alternatively depressed.
Yes.
Teens may simply have a hard time expressing what they're feeling.
All right. Why is that, gentlemen? Y'all two have experienced this. Y'all been out there.
Again, we all, as I know growing up, we all heard the analogy that you too young to have problems. You too young to talk to that. So a teenager, that automatic shut down for talking to an adult.
Oh, period. That's right.
So
That's right. That's right.
Then say you may be another teenager, you're going through the same thing.
Yes.
But you all may be having the same behavioral problems as far as experiencing different drug addiction.
Sure.
Weed or whatever, et cetera, et cetera. Then you all can, it's like the blind leading the blind.
That's right.
So you all
That's right.
might go into the death trap of the society where they want you to be, or you may be misconformed or mistakenly be conformed to what society wants you to be by you not opening up and expressing yourself. Because you don't know how,
That's right.
and you always told that you don't have no issues.
That's right.
So you
That's
don't
right.
want to come out and say I'm going this and that, then they'll go down there.
That's right.
I'm gonna say something along the line of what the wife just said. The teen that's going through the same issue. I mean, for me, I never had that issue with another teen going through the same thing that I did. Because I didn't really have a lot of friends. I didn't really talk to a lot of people.
Right.
But as far as what he said, sometimes as a adolescent going through this issue, sometimes the adolescent that's going through the same issue might force the issue even into a deeper pit.
Sure.
And then that person ends up committing suicide.
That's right.
With another person.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it goes both ways.
That's right. All right, that's right, and that's so true. I'm gonna read here tips for talking to a depressed teen. If y'all out there and you're listening to this, a few things that we can take on. Offer support because you never know, but don't do it like Brother Dwight said. If you say that y'all children don't know it, y'all should be going through no problems, y'all should have no issue. That's not all true, but you got to be willing to be open with them so they can open up to you. Because if you close that door, it's gonna be very, very hard for them to ever. That's right, to open that door to communicate with them. So be there, be supportive, love them, care for them. Always have an open do a policy. Well, son, daughter, son, come on in anytime. We'll just see if you anytime you want to talk, come on in.
To elaborate with, I just want to elaborate a little bit what Tyrone was saying, as far as when adults always quick to say, you too young to have problems.
Oh yeah, they quick to say.
I just want to use this as an example, an analogy. Imagine someone's in the military, then a civilian. A military should look down on the individual or the civilian because they're not in the military, or say, what I'm saying is that different lifestyles require is going to have different issues.
That's right.
Same thing with age, gender, or youth, or the adult.
Sure, absolutely. I agree. All right, the second thing that we need to do in trying to help teens in depression, be gentle but be persistent. Don't give up on a young person. Don't hammer them over the head, but be persistent. Well, let's go out and have a burger today. Let's go skating. Let's do this. To get them in the mood so they can talk about their problems.
I know that word out a lot for me.
Okay.
Now it's pressing me. Hey, you need to do this. Right. It's just being open-minded to that individual, but also treating them as equal.
Exactly.
And I'd like to say something about us here at MSF. We actually do this to the team because I call Brother Tyrone with the issue. He's not judgmental about my issues, but he helps. He offers the support and the encouragement that I need to overcome that problem.
Yes.
So as MSF, us brothers, we're gentle, but we're also persistent with one another. We don't bull crap with one another.
Yeah, that's right.
If you make it, as we say, if you make a vow to another brother, you got to be persistent and keep the vow.
That's right. Absolutely. Very good, Josh. Very good. All right, listen without lecturing. There it goes again. That's self-explanatory.
Oh, I need to talk about that.
Listen without lecturing. We need to open our ears. That's why we got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk. All right?
Sounds right.
It sounds about right? I want to say something along that lines because a lot of parents and guidance counselors and whatever health profession they're in, sometimes they listen, but they're judgmental.
Sure.
I mean, they kind of understand what you're going through, but then they judge you according to your situation.
That's right.
And I think that can make a teen even more reluctant to open up to another person, especially another male, because they're not going to.
So what did we talk about a couple of weeks ago on the broadcast? What do we call that?
The man body.
No, what do we call that? When you're being judgmental. What are you doing? You're putting a what on somebody?
You're putting a label.
There you go. Or a stigma.
Stigma.
Exactly right. All right, let's look at the last one, validate feelings. Now, a person, you may not always agree with the young person that's going through it, but validate their feelings. Let them know, I understand where you're coming from. I may not have been born when you were born. Explain to me what this means so I can understand what's going on and validate the feelings. Don't put them down and let them know that they are less important, but make them feel that they are important and that you're concerned about what they're feeling.
I also want to say something along that lines too, about validating your feelings. Sometimes, as a parent or a guidance counselor, they try to talk you out of things.
Yeah, sure.
But you're not really going to help that person by trying to get them out of the situation if they're not ready to come out of the situation.
Right.
Because certain situations will put you in a depressed mode.
Sure.
But some situations will bring you out.
Absolutely.
But you don't need to rush that opinion that what's the word? You don't need to force somebody to come out of a situation that they're not ready to come out of.
I understand.
I know one time I was talking to this gentleman, it's going to correspond with you saying, I was talking to him and things like that about, he was talking about something he was going through, but I never experienced that. So one thing I want to let you all know, if you have not experienced anything what a youth has experienced, just be honest. Just like, hey, I probably don't understand what you've been through physically, but mentally and emotionally, you don't have to go through by yourself.
Exactly. There you go.
So
that's validating.
Yeah, it will let you know that, it's letting them know that you haven't been through the issue, but you're willing to understand and listen to them of how they feeling, what's going through their mind and train of thought.
That's right, absolutely. All right, Brother Josh, supporting teens through depression treatment. Let's go through these 6 over here, and we ain't got to go into depth, but we can elaborate on each of them, sir.
Be understanding.
What does that mean to you? Be understanding.
Be willing to listen to the person.
Yes. Yes, very important. Because that's where teens lose hope because they feel nobody understands them. They don't have nobody understand. Nobody believes in me. Nobody cares about me. Well, I just might as well just run away.
You sound like Joe in a sermon.
Yeah,